I'll be back.
Okay, let's see if this works.
It does, yeah.
It does. Alright, so yeah, apologies for the slightly lower resolution than Timo is able to do, but
Well, I'm
we
not
are
able
here.
to. But
Timo's normally able to do, put it that way. But yeah, here we are in Singapore. We have 10 minutes left of this qualifying session, and we have a little bit of a topsy-turvy session at the moment. It looks like Inters are the fastest tyre because everyone is on Inters now. A bunch of people did set their best laps on wets, as you can see, but Makenda, who's in P2, was on Inters from the very start, and he has gone faster and faster in the first 10 minutes of this qualifying session. So I think that's what we're heading towards. We're heading for Inters in the last run. And we got a couple of new names. One of them's on the top of the timing sheets as well. VQR Damien with an impressive debut so far. He's put it on provisional pole from the wet tyres. Yeah, take Timo's PC outside and shoot it.
I'm afraid that's not gonna fix it, but that's
But yeah, you'll have to. Yeah, it's me on the camera as well, so you're gonna have to figure out how to do the cameras. Wow, Pitts. He's one of the last cars on the wets.
I can't shout at everything I see anymore. That's terrible.
You still can. You still can. Just tell me what it is, if you can, and I'll switch to it. But yeah,
I'm just gonna give you the number. Shift 3. Oh no, Astro Boys! That's how we're gonna do it. That's always great when I'm not at the camera, like with the charity event we did, where like when my wait, what was it? No, actually, it wasn't the charity event. It was somewhere else where I had the camera and my co-commentator would never tell me what he's shouting at. It's I'm not gonna call anyone out. But like, and I'm just sitting there waiting. Like, can you tell me position, please? Oh no.
Yeah. No, I know that feeling very well. I try to always say what it is that I'm looking at, but yeah, it's hard in the moment though. It's hard in the moment.
It works because I think most times you spot something, we catch it. So.
Yep, absolutely right. Here is who we're on board with, Hazard at the moment, who's in P5. A bunch of people on outlaps. We're going to see as well how much faster Damien can go. I was just about to switch to him, and there it is, a 51.5. So without knowing too much about Damien and how fast he is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's pretty fast. He's the fastest man out there at the moment as Hazard goes very deep into the right-left chicane.
Yeah, this is seriously impressive stuff. We've seen really good qualifying performances in the rain by single drivers before. Was it Yari? Was it Monza? I think it was Monza, right?
Yeah. Well, Yari's done it a couple of times where he's just blown everyone out of the water, no pun intended, at the end of the session. So
if I had said it, it would have been intentional.
Yeah, Hazard P4 even with those mistakes. So yeah, the track much faster than it was a few minutes ago. There is Hazard. He's on a cool-down lap, and here is Mr. Jensen.
I feel like it's important to point out when looking at these gaps that this is, well, sort of the longest track on the calendar. I mean, it has, it's not literally the longest, but it has probably the most corners you need to master. I think it has the highest corner count, and they are quite special if you compare them to other long tracks like Spa. And that means, if you are like not committed and you lose half a tenth in every corner, then you're gonna be down a second by the end of the lap, which is a lot for just a little bit of a disadvantage, and rain can obviously make those gaps appear even bigger, which is probably a reason why Damien is so much faster than everyone else right now. But there goes Yari, and he just beats him by a second and a half. He's done it again, and he's finally put a time on the board, and it is an absolutely blistering lap.
Yep, it absolutely is a 50.0 from Yari. He's not going to have a second and a half lead for long, I'm sure, but certainly that is a big marker for the rest of the field. We got several drivers doing fast laps at the moment. Pixel goes P4 on a 53.5. It's a good effort from Pixel, who's driving his first Tier 1 race in a little while in SLR. Jensen crosses the line, does a 52.0. So yeah, the track definitely getting quite a bit faster, I would hazard to suggest.
Yeah, certainly, and those gaps are still pretty big, so I expect loads of potential. Well, I expect improvements for the people, from the people who I know have the potential to improve. Copy does his part and goes P5. But we still got some others a little bit down the order. We know Vexit is probably better than 5.5 seconds off pole in P10. So certainly expect him to do something soon. He is currently coming through, well, the section towards the first bridge. I'm really bad with Singapore corner names because I can't count to 23.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's yeah, the Anderson Bridge, I guess. So the Singapore Sling corner, what used to be Singapore Sling, until they removed it, which thankfully they did, because it wasn't a very good corner. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't know why we switched to the pits there. Because I switched to Hazard instead of Vexit. Here is Vexit as advertised by Timo.
Yeah,
coming through the second bridge.
It's like turn 1 to 12, the Anderson Bridge, and then turn 14 to 22.
Something like that.
Something like that. Not all the corner names. So Vexit, as has been, well, as I've pointed out, is going to come across the line, and it is going to be P2, and it is a full second behind. Yeah, I mean, he's going to look at that gap, and probably his jaw drops after that one to see how big the gap still is, because it didn't look like a bad lap, but maybe it was a conservative one to just put one in good conditions, and maybe he's going to be able to one-up that. I'm certainly going to keep an eye on it. You can go wherever with the camera. You enjoy the freedom.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to keep an eye on people crossing the line. Fox crosses the line, goes, what does he go? P14 on a 54.3. We've got one Mercedes Astro Boys going around the hairpin at the moment. The other Mercedes a little bit further up, and the other Mercedes needs to improve quite drastically. Pretorius, who is 2.2 seconds up at the second split, so looking good from that perspective, but he's struggling a little bit. You can see he's going to come around the last corner now. It's not a lap that's going to set the world on fire, but it is going to move him up a little bit, I think. He's going to cross the line of 52.2. He goes P8 just ahead of his teammate.
Vexit has 3/10 in the first sector and is getting really, really uncomfortably close to those walls. I'm waiting for a second sector split, which should come up at the end of the straight. He's currently going through, and he's up 8/10.5. So this is certainly threatening. The question is just, what can Yari do? Nothing. He's in the pit lane, so Vexit actually in pretty good course to maybe take this pole away after Yari's lap seemed untouchable at first. This could be Vexit's time to shine and finally get back at him. He's stated in the press conference chat how bad he wants to get back at Yari and finally beat him after some domination that Yari has done in the last rounds. There he goes through the final corners, 2 to go. Needs to be really precise here on the track limits, and just carrying the speed seemed a little conservative. Wow, those seconds, solid lap from him, and then with the pole lap, probably.
Yep, and Jensen coming around the last corner now. He was 3/10 up as well, so he might take P3. He would have done if he hadn't invalidated in the last corner. Jensen does a 50.7, but it's not going to count. So that's unfortunate for Jensen. Damien just got across the line before the time expired, so he is on his, what presumably will be his fastest lap now. He's on a 51.5 at the moment. That was said a little while ago, though. We'll keep an eye on other people crossing the line. Copy isn't going to improve by very much, I don't think. A 51.6 from Copy. He goes P7. Who's next across the line? I think it's not Astro Boys. It is, in fact, Pretorius. I missed his second split. We'll keep an eye on... so I'm going to say we'll keep an eye on Damien's split as well. And it's he's nearly a second up, is Damien. So good stuff from Damien. Pretorius crosses the line, 51.8.
That third sector has quite a lot of corners, so you can still gain a good bunch of time. Maybe Damien able to contest for the front row. Not after that mistake. Into the wall slightly, probably without damage. Still, certainly the lap kind of, well, ruined for the front row. It might still be enough for WoW. And Jensen, actually, it's
good lap from Astro. He
Yeah,
goes P5, and yeah, it's still a very good lap. It's P3 for Damien.
God,
Wow.
imagine how much time you probably lost on the second bridge. It was probably about like 2 or 3 times. So
As Justin crosses the line sideways, as you would
weird.
expect.
Never seen Chase Cam on a spectator. What was
Yeah,
that?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. That's a weird
Yeah.
one.
Game's finally getting the updates it deserves.
But there is your grid. Vexit with an excellent yap. Yari probably thought he was safe with that 50.0, but Vexit pulls it out at the end. A 49.9 in intermediate conditions. He is fastest of all then. Yari second. Damien, who I assume is from the Netherlands as well, P3. Then Wow P4, Jensen P5, Astro P6. Good qualifying from Astro. Then Justin, Copy, Bailey, and Pretorius rounding out the top 10. And the nice thing from the driver's perspective, and probably from our perspective as well, about the qualifying being wet, is that there's no soft tyre shenanigans at Singapore. I think it'll be medium hard or hard medium for all of the drivers.
Yeah, everyone does something else is just objectively wrong this time. You know, there's no Makenda. There's no Makenda moment where you take the off strategy, especially because overtaking is so tough, yeah. And yeah, so that's not gonna happen. Everyone who goes on softs just, you know, is bad at strategy decisions. I say that full of confidence. In the end, someone's gonna prove me wrong.
I mean, I do remember a Singapore race where I did a two-stop and I finished third, but you know, it's just
how much
the way it
overput? How much? Well, when was that? Was that some old Tour Sorel season?
Yeah, it was like season 6 or something. I don't know. But yeah, it was a little while ago.
And it is you at Singapore, and it's also not this game. I don't know what my selection is, but I did some soft running in. I mean, I did invalid laps in qualifying in Tier 2 on softs, and I checked the tire info after my qualifying run was done. So I did an out lap, an in lap, and a hot lap, and the delta to the mediums was 0.
Yeah, that's about right.
So they dropped like 8/10 on, on one hot lap, 2 in and out laps. So
yeah, it's something like 3 or 4 tenths a lap. It's really extreme, the drop off.
Yeah, and then considering that this track, because it has such a slow average speed, has that.
Makenda. Let's go.
Oh, come on! There's gonna be no Makenda, he said. Oh, goddamn. He's gonna be praying for the safety car. It's rough, honestly. It's rough out here. See, that's the strategy. He knows there's gonna be like a lap 1 safety car, so his plan is to launch off the line on softs, overtake Fox, and then he gained 1 position to the medium hard runners. That's basically what he's gonna do here.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. I don't quite know whether Makenda is being entirely serious. I mean, he's P15, so he might as well do something, right? It's fair enough.
Yeah. That's certainly true.
But we've got Vexit on mediums and Yari on hards, which is kind of interesting. They've split their strategy, the two front runners, and the two front runners for the championship. Damien also on hards, and we know that Damien, had he not made that mistake in the third sector, would have been right in the mix and possibly even ahead of Vexit and Yari. So he's very fast as well then. Wow, Jensen, Astro Boys, and Justin all on mediums. Copy P8 on hards, and then Bailey and Pretorius on mediums. So a real mix up front, and I think it'll make for some interesting racing in the first few laps.
Yeah, certainly. It's I mean, I feel like a broken record because it's my favorite introductory speech to keep viewers engaged on tracks that are known for, you know, tough overtakes. But it's true again and again. Tracks with short overtaking zones give us long, drawn-out battles where people are getting desperate for moves, and then we get the really good side-by-side action through sections where you don't expect it. And it certainly has something if you compare it to tracks like Monza, where, you know, every overtake is the DRS zone, and if you overtake outside of the DRS zone or just on the, you know, on the shorter DRS zone, then you're just making a mistake. And it's certainly different here. If you pass in the middle section, you don't care. You're giving the other guy DRS. You're just gonna take it and run with it, and that makes for the excitement on this track for sure. We're gonna have well, turns 1, 2, and 3 can be quite difficult for the field to navigate because it's tight left, then sort of a weird right, and then another tight left. Drivers get all over the place and get into each other. So let's hope we see no one use that runoff or spin around, even though I wouldn't put my money against it.
Yep, and I've got to remember that I have the camera. Here we go then, the start of the Singapore Grand Prix in SLR. We have 5 lights. The 5 lights are out, and we wait. The revs rise, and we are going. Singapore as Yari gets a jump start. Wow, what a start immediately. He does get ahead of Vexit, but at what cost? They're side by side, as Vexit will surely know that Yari jumped the start, and we've got yellows towards the back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I mean, what I saw is that Jensen had an absolute rocket start. Yari had a rocket start as well. And Wow was completely squeezed off by Jensen there. So those two got into each other. Now Vexit and Yari are fighting it out for P1. But both of them know that there's a penalty for Yari, who started on hards. By the way, he punts into the back of Vexit. They both keep it on track though, which is quite nice. I'm gonna check tires. I thought I didn't need to, but it's actually interesting this time. And McKenda's up to P9.
Yeah, McKenda's had a rocket of a start. They are very fast, those soft tires. They really are. You get going on them very quickly. They do drop off in a hurry, though. We'll keep an eye on how McKenda develops. We'll watch him a little bit through the field. There is McKenda. He's going to get past Jay here, I think, as they head up towards the right-hander at the end of Sector 2.
Dragon. Actually, just Dragon. Also, yeah, McKenna passes Jay. They're using those soft tires to full advantage. Maybe it was worth it. I don't know. It's gonna we're gonna see what transpires over the course of this race. And Vexit at the front making a break already. Yari having destroyed his chances at a good race by getting that drive through. It's gonna dive
and it's into the wall. Who was that? That was Astro Boys, who I just saw it in the background as Yari does pit. But yeah, Astro, I don't know if he hit the wall. I think he might have kept it out of the wall just barely. So no damage done as far as his front wing's concerned, but certainly dropped right the way to the back. But he is going again on those medium tyres, as Yari does indeed make the long trundle down this pit lane. It is a long pit lane at Singapore, and a very slow one as well, and he exits a long way behind. How far is he behind the leader? 22.7 seconds, 23 seconds.
His tyre advantage, and he's passing his fellow Dutchman. And up to P2. Meanwhile, the other Ferrari is getting overtaken as Copy takes Pixel for P11. So they are right in the mix as well. Fighting going on everywhere on the field right now, except at the front, where Vexit has a 3-second gap. That is incredible.
Yep, and McKenda on the back of his teammate Bailey. So McKenda up to P6 on those soft tyres. It's been a swashbuckling start from the Finnish driver in the McLaren. Putting the softs on, which he was the only person to do in the whole field, and he's made up a whole bunch of positions. He started P15, he's now P6. As they go through the third sector, we got Wow following Damien. And Wow and Bailey both going to be looking at the back of that racing point and trying to perhaps make a move on the hard shod car. Through the last couple of corners they go. Wow, all over the back of Damien. And through the last corner as Vexit does the fastest lap of the race. He is making a break. The gap nearly 3 seconds at the front.
Yeah, certainly true. Vexit, Jay has dropped out of range of McKenda a lot. And then there's the next gap is Hazard, who is not quite on the back of Justin there, struggling with those hards. It's it's a tough track where, DRS is somewhat powerful, but it's, in relationship to how many corners there are, it doesn't do that much, and ERS is so precious. You can't really give it up. If you lose ERS, you're not going to regenerate it, and I'm looking at Hazard, who is down to 30% ERS after just 3 laps, and he's probably going to be low on ERS until the end of the race.
Probably. Yeah, you can't really regen it at all at Singapore, as you mentioned. Yeah. So Hazard going to be doing the big struggle for the rest of the race. Fox and Justin are also all over the back of Jay, trying to take advantage of having better tyres than Jay, but overtaking here is not trivial. So Justin almost pushes Fox around the hairpin there as they go through. We come towards the end of lap number 3, and again, Justin getting very close to the back of that Alfa Romeo. Further up, this is Wow on Damien, and Wow very close now once again through the third sector. Needs to stay as close as he can and maybe, just maybe, make a DRS move on the either the front straight or the straight just after, but Damien is still just about in Jensen's DRS as well.
That is like 2 warnings for
it might actually have been 2, yeah. I don't know. He lifted a little bit.
I only got 1. Oh, did he just get 1 in turn 1?
It looked okay in turn 1, I don't know. Wasn't watching very closely, but possibly he did. And Makenda already, yeah, Bant's getting another 3 seconds. But Makenda, oh no, so that's his first, yeah, it was Astro who got the first one. But Makenda already on those soft tyres, now struggling to hang on to the back of this little battle group as well. Gets very close, but not quite close enough to Damien on the run into turn 5.
Yeah, and kind of needs to get past it because of Jensen, who is checking, well, who's not checking out, but who is certainly in a better position because he doesn't have that racing point ahead of him. Let's check the ERS situation. Actually, it's absolutely gone for Jensen. He's got nothing. He's got 20%, and I'd say you like regen about 3 or 4% if you don't lose anything. If you don't get anything, I believe the reason there's so much drain is because there's no. I mean, there's some hard braking zones, but there's so many, slow speed corners where it just automatically deploys for you, even if you don't press the button. I believe that's the reason. I might be wrong on that front, but I think that's why it.
No, I think that's right. You're on throttle a lot of the time, and there's not really any hard braking. So, like parts of the track like this, you're on throttle for a lot of the time, so you don't really regen because you're not really braking. So,
also,
sorry,
it's like full acceleration zones, like in. If you're on a really long straight, it doesn't really auto-deploy much because then it's your time to do it. It auto-deploys mainly if you're like low speed, and this track is like basically only low speed, except for some exceptions. So it auto-deploys in every part of the track, so you can't really afford to press the button yourself.
Yep, absolutely right. We got Fox, who's just picked up a 3-second penalty as well. He's again on the back of Jay. Can he get the run out this time of the right-hander? Not really.
Oh wow, having a look at Damien and gets himself almost spun, maybe took some front wing off there. He was fractionally committed as Fox goes off track and loses 2 positions to Jay and Justin, who are now running side by side as Justin gets 2 for the price of 1.
Well, he was behind Jay. I didn't exactly see what happened there, but Fox certainly losing out to Justin. Oh, sorry, no, yeah, Justin was behind both of them, wasn't he? So, yeah, he did get 2, you're right. So ahead he goes, and yeah, Wow now struggling to hang on to the back of Damien, and I wonder if that might be tyre delta, or it might be damage, as you mentioned, from Damien's side pod, I guess.
It was more rear tyre, it wasn't alongside that much. It was,
okay.
Sort of a, he just stuck his nose in and prayed, and his prayers weren't answered. Now the gap between Jensen and Vexit is kind of coming down, which is weird. I wonder if Vexit is chilling because he doesn't feel threatened by anyone except Yari, and look at Yari. He's 5 seconds off the back of Astro Boys. It's going to be exciting to see how he is going to make the overtakes work on this track. It's what I always say. The formula for exciting races on these tracks is to get fast drivers out of position, so they have to do something. And at least Yari is in that position now. He is faster than Astro, Pretorius, Bans, Pixel, etc. Basically all good except maybe Vexit. And Pretorius, what's happened to him? He's pitting.
Yeah, and just it's a front wing change, so something obviously did happen to him. We didn't exactly see what, as Bailey gets very close to the back of Wow, but not close enough. And yeah, that gap at the front is really interesting. I just wonder, because Singapore is one of those tracks where if you overdrive, you do overheat the tyres. And the tyres wear, certainly the mediums wear quite quickly. And there is drop-off on the mediums as well as on the soft. So I wonder if something like that has happened to Vexit. It's certainly possible. The hards are pretty much bulletproof. You can do whatever you like on the hards, but the mediums really do struggle if you push them too hard. So just keep an eye on that. We'll just keep an eye on that gap. It's remained steady at 2.5, 2.6 for the last lap or so. So maybe it was just a mistake from Vexit.
Yeah, and although it is, you know, not really something you can count on, I just feel like mentioning that now we basically getting to the end of McKenda's stint, so he need a safety car like now or next lap for an absolutely brilliant jump into the top 6, and if that doesn't happen, then he's gonna have a tough time in the second stint. It's still kind of made it work.
Well, I don't know though, because he's going to pit either this lap probably or next lap, and if he let's just see if he's coming into the pits now, so he's going to have 2 stints probably on the mediums unless he goes for the hards.
I think he goes hards.
In which case, it's a little bit different, but we'll see what he does.
I'm wrong. It's mediums.
It is medium, so he's going 2 medium stints. That's really interesting. And the time that he gained on that first stint was quite a lot of time. Now he'll go to the back, but he will be in clear air, and he'll be able to do some fast laps on those medium tyres. Now that he's come out of the pits, as Bailey alongside, wow, for P4 up the inside. Nice move from Bailey in the other McLaren into whatever turn number that is, 7 or something. I called it 5 earlier, I was definitely wrong. But Bailey is up to P4, and he can now chase after Damien in the racing point.
Well, it's not... It depends how many of the kinks you actually call a corner.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just a complete guess, because there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's the right-hander at 4, and then there's that one at 5. But of course, there's two kinks like, in there as well. So that's it doesn't really work.
The 5 act in the 5, that's how. In the 5th actual corner on the track, I guess. And Bailey having a strong showing. He has talked a bit in chat about his ambitions for the next game. He wants to go no life on it and get towards, I guess, close to esports pace is what he said he wants to achieve, which is obviously really tough goal. But I guess, you see Vexit and Yari driving in our league, and they are, close to that. They are like driving in your feeder series of ORL and stuff. So it's, you see them there, and Bailey is a young guy. He knows if he can put his mind to it, he can perform exceptionally well. And so far, this race has gone really well for him. We're 8 laps in, he's P4. He is, breezed past WoW, who probably has damage, actually, even though lime green shouldn't make you that much slow, so I think Bailey's just fast.
Yeah, Bailey certainly is fast. He's always been fast at Singapore. I remember some tournament races here where he did very well indeed. He won one of those, along with Jensen, I remember.
Yeah, true.
He was chased all the way by a plucky young talent, finishing 3rd, but didn't quite get close enough in the end. And those two managed to bring it home, so they're pretty quick. Those Bance and Pixel are fighting the 2 SRL battle between those two as well. Gets a penalty. Oh dear.
What he said before the race in the interview chat?
Did he say, "I'll never get a penalty ever again in F1 2020"?
No, he said he's failed all of the penalty challenges. He's just gonna try and get as much as possible to annoy us. Also, he's now lacking a full end plate on the left side, so there's more than lime green damage now.
Oh yeah, no, he certainly is.
Last time I checked, I didn't see any visual.
Yeah, no, there definitely wasn't, because I checked as well, and that is new. Oh, and he's lost the other end plate now as well, so he's running without any end plates at all on that front wing of that Red Bull. So he's certainly going to have to pit. I would imagine probably this lap even. He's going to go under the hards. That would be my expectation.
Vexit, what are you doing? You are really fast.
Oh.
Too fast in the pit lane.
Wow, yeah, so Vexit getting a 5-second penalty. The gap's strung out now a little bit. So Vexit, I think, is actually going to come into traffic on those. Oh, and a wing change as well for Vexit. So something did happen to him. Maybe he did have damage. Well, he must have had damage from that first in, and that was why Jensen was catching him.
Jensen in the lead, by the way.
Yeah, well, Jensen is, I was going to say, favourite to win the race now. I don't want to jinx him like that. Damien. But certainly... Yeah, Damien is all over the back of him. Yeah, Damien might be favourite to win the race, actually. But yeah, these two performing very well. And Jensen is another one who is very quick around Singapore. So very quick, very consistent. That's what you need. And on lap 9, Jensen putting himself in an extremely good position. Vexit now has got a long stint on those hards ahead of him. He's behind Makenda, by the way, who has jumped him there. And, of course, the 5 seconds as well as Pixel and Astro Boy's battling. We didn't see that. I saw Astro Boy's very sideways on the exit of the slow right-hander. Seems to be okay, seems to have his front wing intact, but certainly there was some sort of coming together there between the two of them, I think.
Isn't it peculiar how, like, all of a sudden Vexit and Yari both bottled properly? Like, Yari just jump starts and Vexit gets himself a needless penalty and a wing change, so he's lost like 10 seconds to that now. So he can't even capitalize on the fact that Yari is just, you know, digging his nose into the gearbox of Astro Boy's Mercedes car. And,
yeah, absolutely right. It's Jensen Pitt. No, it's Jensen Pitts. Yeah, I saw that on the mini-map. I was keeping across it. Yeah, Astro Boys gets a penalty as well. Yeah, Astro Boys, sorry. Jensen Pitts, I think he was held a tiny little bit there because Bailey pitted as well at the same time. And Wow also pits. And Wow, I'm sure, will be changing that front wing. Yeah, indeed he is.
It's unlucky for Jensen, who is probably trying, you know, well, he needs to stay ahead of Damien with the undercut. He's going to have fresher tires for quite a while, but getting held doesn't really work. I think the calculations that esports people do is you don't want to pit if there's a car with a pit box further down the road than yours, like 2 seconds behind you. That is about the sweet spot where you're getting held.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Jensen's going to lose this place here to Makenda. He tried to give him a little cheeky squeeze there down the straight, but nothing doing. And Makenda passing Jensen because Jensen didn't have any battery. And Makenda on those medium tyres, making it work at the moment. He's up to P11 on track. He'll have to pit again, of course, but he'll be fast in the final stint on those mediums too. So Makenda, against all expectations, maybe making something work here.
Yari has finally gotten past Pixel. I was on the small back straight there as... why can't I... Okay. It's
What are you trying to do?
The camera, because I can only see onboards.
Press the right button, I don't know. As Pixel and Makenda fighting into the slow right-hander. Makenda giving him the minimum possible room there on the inside, but making that one stick as Jensen passes Pixel. Pixel moving out of the way there into the right-hander. He's got Vexit all over the back of him now as well, does Pixel, and I just wonder if Pixel is going to try and hold Vexit up and send his teammate a little bit further up the road. Teammate for today.
Yeah, Vexit looked really interested in going for that move as... well, he can't really, but now he gets a...
Oh, did we lose Timo? What happened? We lost Timo very abruptly there, so I don't know quite what happened. Vexit did manage to get past Pixel. Just gonna keep an ear out to see what happened to Timo.
Hello?
Oh, there he is. There he is.
How long didn't you hear me?
For about, like, I don't know, 5 seconds. You're in the middle of saying something as Bailey passes Pixel as well.
Oh, Fox! Fox is... Wait, is he pitting or is he dead? No,
he's dead. He's spun. Didn't see what happened.
Safety car!
Oh!
For that?
We have a safety car for that, and that means... What does that mean? Well, I was going to say that's good news for Damien because he's not pitted yet, but... The problem for Damien is that he can only put the mediums on, and the mediums...
he's completely in trouble. He is... Oh my god, he is so... Oh, this is rough.
Can you get to the end on the medium tyres? That is the question.
No.
I don't think you can, from what I remember. But I don't know. Maybe if you save them. No? Okay. How far can you go on the mediums? Do you know?
Well, I know that I drove them 2 runs in qualifying, and for me they are shot after 11 laps. So I think you reach puncture territory like 15, and...
Okay, he will have to do some saving then. He is pitting and putting the mediums on, so he's going to give it a go. Maybe he'll have to do a soft stint at the end. What happened there? Was that... He was held in the pits a long time, unless that was a spectator glitch.
Probably spectator glitch. As Justin also comes in. Chat already recording this OP for Justin, and while it certainly doesn't hurt, it's not that OP because the front runners get to... I mean, they Well, because he was capped at, he's capped at this racing speed, so no, actually, oh, forget what I said. I'm complete. Where is he? Okay, I think this is good for Justin, but it just means that he is back into the fighting group at the front. He was held by people on slower tires in the first part of the race. Damien and McKenna can't really decide who's going first. Vance is gonna lead our race on those hard tires because he has the same dilemma as his teammate for today.
Yeah, real stop the count hours for Racing Point. Vance and Damien 1-2 at the moment. That won't last, unfortunately. But yeah, the interesting one is McKenda, who decided not to pit, which is a very curious decision because you'd think this would be perfect for him to put the hard tyres on and maybe go to the end of the race, but he's okay on those mediums, he thinks. So, and as I say that, he's not okay on those mediums because he spins under the safety car. It was McKenda. I was watching him the whole time, and he just looped it on the exit of the right-hander, so McKenda will have to pit now. So maybe he's been forced onto the proper strategy there, as Copy gets a penalty for a collision with Astro Boys, and Damien and Bance have hit each other as well, the two Racing Points, so they get 5-second penalties, which Bance will certainly have to serve. Damien will have to serve if he pits again. Suddenly this race is chaos.
What's going? This safety car period is like more exciting than a real life F1 race in Singapore. What's going on? I have no idea. Astro and Copy going into each other is big as well, considering they have had some disagreements in the past over incidents, and this is certainly not going to help their cause.
Yeah, and
him to the end.
Astro didn't get a penalty for that, by the way. Copy did, so I don't know.
It's getting taken off, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, it will be if he doesn't pit again, but he'll presumably pit again. And Damien does pit this time. And why is Damien...
He's going hards to the end.
But But he started on hards. You don't get more than one set of hards. That doesn't work. What on earth?
He's gonna be put on really old hard tires now, I think.
And he's serving his penalty, so he's putting hards on. But you don't get... 12 laps on the hards. You don't get... And he's changing his front wing as well, so there was... So he hit the back of Bance and damaged his front wing, and he's putting the tyres that he started the race on to go to the end of the race.
What's going on, man? I feel like this is giving me Ferrari Nürburgring vibes or something. Like they just don't have the tires.
There's some very interesting strategy calls going on.
This is all just because I said that he's favored to win the race.
So
it's all my fault, and now it's Jensen and Bailey in the net leads of this race. But with the safety car, the medium runners can save a bit of time. I didn't consider that when saying they can't do 20 laps.
And I wonder, I've been watching, sorry to interrupt, I've been watching the leaders, and Bance is lagging. And he's lagged back into Jensen a couple of times, and Jensen's had to slow down. So I wonder if that is what happened with Damien, and if that is what happened, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, man, this is absolutely crazy. This safety car period, this gotta be like one of the most chaotic safety car periods we've had so far. And
another collision.
A collision with Yari! What are you doing? How does that happen? Yari hit him from the back, and that means it might not... Actually, he didn't get a penalty. Why are Copy and Wow overtaking each other, by the way?
And Yari has damage as well. He's missing an end plate on the left of that Renault.
Oh my god!
Alright, so let's try and take stock here. We got...
do Copy and Wow have the glitch because they let each other pass multiple times?
Maybe. We'll see if the thing pops up. But we're about to go racing again. So Bance hasn't pitted yet, so he'll have to pit. Jensen and Bailey can go to the end for sure. So can Justin. Jay is going to try and go to the end, I assume, on the medium tyres. It'll be difficult for him. He's got an 18-lap stint to do. So will Copy. If anyone can do it, though, Copy can. Astro is totally fine, and Hazard and Yari both put the mediums on to try and get to the end. Everyone's got a bunch of penalties, and the restart is a little bit chaotic as well, because Bance is holding everyone.
Justin is gonna get the jump on at least one, so he's ahead of Jay already, which is bad for Jay because he needs to make those mediums work. And now goes from the really late plunge, temporarily ahead of Justin. Is still side by side. Jensen hasn't found his way past Bance yet, but he's got some time. Bance goes really deep, and I think Justin holds it. Jensen is gonna take the lead ahead of Bance, but Bance still holding the inside. Really tough is gonna squeeze Jensen to the wall, and there goes Bailey Thompson for the move. Bailey's now gonna take the lead of this race. Is taking Bance on the kink. A death for Pixel in turn 4 as well. Bailey needs to carry it around the outside of Bance, who's fighting this as if his life depended on it, which is funny because absolutely nothing depends on this for him. But it does for the others. Now Bance might be squeezed into the wall. He's still holding on. How does he find so much grip in these old shop hard tires? Bailey almost into the wall. Jensen sees his chance. He wants to go to the inside line. Bance still alongside. What is Bailey gonna do? Is he giving him the space? He does, and they're making it. No! And they're both off. Jensen takes the lead. Bailey Thompson spun out of the race. What the
And two drivers not willing to give an inch, and that is the predictable end result as Jensen says, thank you very much, I'll take the lead again. He's got Justin right behind him as well. Justin on slightly better tyres. That shouldn't matter on the hards though, but Jensen now in prime position. He's got Jay, Copy, Hazard, Yari, and Wow to some extent as well, all on better tyres than him with the exception of Wow. But those two, Bance and Bailey, just not willing to give that up. And they're still fighting here towards the end of the lap. Bance, well, they both have damage, I think, after that one. But
yeah,
that was crazy.
Oh, it's death again for Bance, who's gone off at the bridge. Not lost a tire though. That reminded me kind of Astro and Jensen at Silverstone, but even wilder with even closer walls, and like it didn't go wrong for about 4 corners when it really should have, and then in the end it finally goes wrong. Not that I was rooting for it, but you know, I was just genuinely surprised it hadn't happened earlier.
Yeah, absolutely right. Exit passing Wow on the medium tyres, Wow on the hards to go to the end from here. But up front, well, at the moment it's a completely unbroken DRS chain. Pretorius right on the back of Fox, but not close enough as they head up towards the left-hander at the end of Sector 1. And we have a moment at least to catch our breath after that crazy restart, as Pretorius still all over the back of Fox on much better tyres, of course.
Vexit and Yari meet each other on track, but Yari has a penalty and damage. And that, of course, means that Vexit should have the upper hand here, but he is still trying to overtake in Singapore. And Yari is going to have the DRS from Hazard as soon as DRS is a thing. Copy is kind of pulling that train a little bit. No, actually, no, he's not. Justin, it's a train to the front. Jensen is actually kind of pulling the train. Yari really getting a run on Hazard here. Might lunge to the inside. No. Okay. Thank goodness he thinks better of it, because that would have... Well, that would have been totally in character for what's going on. This race that punts Yari into the back, because Yari looks to the inside and then takes his racing leg back. I don't know if that's classified as moving under braking, but it was certainly scary.
Yep, it certainly was. Vexit really nowhere to go there. Thought the gap was opening up on the outside, and it didn't open up for very long because Yari took his line again. Fox gets 3 more seconds as they cross the line to start lap 16. DRS enabled after the safety car period. We're going to keep an eye on this battle here between Yari and Vexit, because this is the championship implications for this one. Vexit very close to the back of Yari. We'll also keep an eye on Justin and Jay, who are very close to each other. Jay on the better tyres for P2 on track. Jay, after a relatively poor qualifying by his recent standards, has made up for it in the race and is in a very good position now, albeit on the medium tyres.
Yeah, it all depends on how he's going to be able to handle these tyres. That is what's going to make or break his race. Safety cars come at a pretty solid point in the race for him if he can make the end. But that's a big if, and he can't destroy his tyres on the way. And the fact that Justin is there between him and Jensen means that overtaking Jensen and taking the lead is going to be tough. And that is what he would have wanted to do: take the lead, drive around without dirty air, and save your tires at your own pace, keep the people behind in the DRS zone with your fuel with DRS, and just taking the inside. And he's not going to be able to do that. Tough challenge ahead for him. He doesn't have a penalty, and that's going to be winning condition for him and Jensen. Both of them without one so far. I'm going to check warnings, because that's a thing I can do now.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Jay is going to be trying not to get those penalties. Jensen too, of course. Justin has just the 3 seconds of penalties. Copy has the 5 seconds, which if he doesn't pit again will be removed.
Jensen sitting on 1 warning, Jay on 0.
Okay, wow. So those two doing very well as far as track limits are concerned, as Yari gets 3 seconds. He's up to... Oh, Vexit just retired. What happened?
What? Vexit's just out!
What on earth happened?
I know what happened. I mean, I don't know. But I can think what happened. And there's a sausage curb there. There's a sausage curb there that you want to put in the middle of your car. And maybe it wasn't like to the inside enough, so you rode the curb and it just spat him out to the right. That happened to me once yesterday, but I caught it. It was really dangerous. And I almost didn't catch it. And I think Vexit just didn't catch it.
Okay, well,
yes, I have no idea how else he would go out there.
Yeah, because they weren't... I don't think they were close enough for there to be any contact. I didn't see that they were, at least. So, yeah, that might just have been a mistake from Vexit, which is really unfortunate. That's one of our championship challengers out, and Yari, who's got a big lead in the championship, is going to be rubbing his hands now at the prospect of the rest of this race, because if he can make any progress at all, he's got penalties to make up. He's got 8 seconds at the moment. Well, presumably at least 3 seconds, certainly.
Pretorius is in a really good spot as well because he doesn't have a penalty there.
Yeah, after his spin on lap 1. That's
that's just tires if they last.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we are racing again, and we don't appear to have any drive-throughs, which is good. And the gap up front, well, all the way down to P8, 1 through 8 at the moment on the score sheet are nose to tail. Fox 2.5 seconds behind Astro in P9, and then there's a train all the way down to Pixel in P15, and then Vance is by himself at the back of the field, half a lap behind everyone.
Yeah, certainly Hazard having a little look at Copy, but that's not going to be a move as expected. And Jensen, I mean, he's conscious of the situation. He knows that he needs to make a mistake for anyone else to win the race at this rate. And there's the yellows, and that's Dragon in the second. Williams facing the wrong way after turn 3. Let's hope he didn't get punted off by someone and just lost it on traction. Certainly easy to do. Looping the car there. Ban's getting himself a penalty. Yeah, so the thing about Jensen is, if he gets overtaken by Justin has 3 seconds of penalties, and that, yeah, as soon as he gets DRS, he can probably chill in second. It's not even that important that he keeps the lead, but it's comfortable to have it. It's sort of a buffer between him and Jay. Wow gets a second penalty, which is overperforming expectations by a country mile, and it's interesting times here. I really wonder how this is gonna pan out because it's another yellow. What's going on there?
Damien, no, not Damien.
Oh, no.
I don't know what happened there. Something did happen to Damien because he's going very slowly. Right at the back of the field. Is he waiting for something? I don't know. Dragon is... Yeah, okay. So he and Dragon...
Maybe he punted Dragon and felt bad or something, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's sad how the race went for... he's gonna do that one. I think he's gonna retire here. Yeah, I mean, 100%. He just cut a corner properly, got a 10-second penalty for it. He's now on his way to the pit lane, which, yeah, it's fair enough. He, of course, had his issues with Vance, I believe, was where his race fell apart on the safety car. So, you know, Vance getting in close proximity with 2 potential race winners. Damien retires in the pit lane.
Jay on Justin here. Jay is burning that battery. He's burning pretty much everything he's got down to 35% down the inside, and Justin leaving just about enough space for a front wheel, but not much more. As Makenda passes Fox as well a little bit further down, but Justin managing to stay ahead on those hard tyres, and at least for the time being, keeps that second place.
Yeah, and Hammer in chat points out that Damien's wheel disconnected, which is also why he cut those corners on the way to the pit lane. I assume he was probably driving on like a keyboard or maybe a pad or something, and
oh right, okay,
made his way out of this race that way. It was a big shame because he looked really promising, and I hope he's gonna be here in the future for more action. He seemed very promising.
Yep, certainly a lot of pace in that Force India, Racing Point, Aston Martin, whatever it's called.
Nice save there. Nice save. Just pretend like it was intentional. Force in der Fahrzeug-Moment.
But yeah,
Snell actually
Damien.
wants to see penalties. Can flash on the screen.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. There are the penalties. There's a lot of different penalties, so we're going to have fun working this out towards the end of the race.
Tires, Tara!
At the moment, though, everyone is pretty much nose to tail. Hazard trying to get past Copy. It's the battle that we're watching at the moment as Pixel, I was going to say Pixel passes Fox on track, but he doesn't because Fox has pitted and Fox has retired as well. So we are down to 14 runners out of the 17 that started the Singapore Grand Prix in Season 5, Tier 1 of SLR. And Hazard all over the back now of Copy defending the inside of the left-hander and managing to keep ahead for the time being.
And Damien saying is we'll DC'd 3 times this race. Now I mean he's in chat so he can tell us right away. Is that the reason you collided with Bans, or was that just, you know, I don't know, driver error out of one of the two of you, or maybe both? Like, was that the reason for the collision?
Yeah, it
really
could have been.
sad.
Yeah, there was also, as I said, well, Bans was also lagging as well, so I wonder if that played a part too. But yeah, that's unfortunate. But really good pace though from Damien. Good to have you here in SLR, and we look forward to seeing more of you.
Yeah, certainly do. And Jensen, when is he last won a race? I believe it was Suzuka. I'm going full commentator's curse here. But he's a strong man. He can. Oh, what was that? You almost hit the wall there. That was so spooky.
Yeah, it's very easy to almost hit the wall in that corner. I didn't see it, but certainly it is easy to do. But yeah, I think that was the last race win, where the epic battle with Hugo and Suzuka, which was a lot of fun to watch and commentate on. This is going to be an interesting battle towards the end of this race. We've got 11 laps to go. The hards seem to be holding up quite well, and Jensen seems to be holding Justin at arm's length, at least for the time being. The question is, are those mediums going to hold up? The mediums going to have to do 19 laps in total, 2 of them under safety car as the 2 Mercedes swap places. But the mediums will have to go quite a long way. They are a lot faster than the softs to begin with, but they drop off very quickly indeed. So we'll keep an eye on how this race develops and how the medium runners drop off towards the end of the race.
Yeah, it feels like survival mode. I wish there was a way for me to get his tire percentage. Isn't there like a I don't know, sim hub or something, like a dashboard?
Yeah, there's something. I've seen it before. And yeah, maybe we should look at that. I sort of made a mental note to look into that a few races ago and then never did. So yeah, maybe we should do that at some point. But I think it's quite unreliable. Yeah. It's quite unreliable though. It doesn't always work, and it depends on what settings people have on their game, how much they're transmitting. As Makenda gets 3 seconds as well. That's his first 3 seconds, in fact. So Makenda was in a very good position. He's still in a good position on those hard tyres, but yeah, it's a struggle for him. Oh, that I think will have been a warning for Jay, who just cut the penultimate corner by the looks of it. It was close, but it looked like it.
He did not.
Oh wow!
He got away with it.
Okay.
He's still,
it was close.
He's still completely clean on that front, and Jensen didn't get a warning since lap 3 himself.
Yeah, good stuff from the 2 Dutchmen up front. As what are we seeing here? Jari and Wow battling. Jari, I was going to say, was letting Wow pass. Maybe he was letting him pass, but certainly Wow made his way past anyway. And I wonder if does Jari have damage or something? Oh yeah, he certainly does have damage. Yeah, he's missing an end plate.
Yeah, it was from the safety car.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah.
But that's been
wow.
That's been crippling his race performance for quite a while. It was we lose Bans. He's gonna retire here on this lap, I think. Or is it just pitting? No, it's just pitting for a wing, I guess.
Pitting for a wing and maybe some soft tires to try and do the fastest lap, something like that. We got a great battle here between Bailey and Dragon as they head up towards the left-hander Singapore Sling corner. Bailey getting past a couple of laps ago, and Dragon going to try and hang on to the back of that McLaren as best he can.
Is that the Singapore sling? Like, and that corner was worse before.
Oh yeah, no, there was a hilarious chicane there
I know,
with hilarious
like,
curbs.
I know about the Sutil liftoff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that was a Singapore sling. It was.
Massa also did it, I think, but I think like that's like one of my least favorite corners on the calendar. I hate
really?
it so much.
Well, the left-hander at the moment.
No,
Because I love it.
Oh, the right-hander.
Oh, the right-hander. Oh, right. Yeah, the left-hander just before it was where the sling was.
Okay.
Because yeah, the left-hander I really like because it's one of those corners that you throw the car in and then you brake as you turn. It's really challenging.
As Bear Dragon might go for Bailey now. Yeah, I really don't like the one after because it's like if you drive it on track you are painfully slow and you just like 3/10 or something. You just have to heat it over the curb in my experience. Astro Boys fighting with McKenna. Then McKenna trying to hang around the outside is gonna stick his nose in and not being given much space. Almost loops it on traction. He was thunderfooting that one. And it didn't pay off as, well, thunderfooting usually does.
Oh, and Bailey into the wall! Oh dear, Bailey into the wall in a big way on the exit of the left-hander at the end of the straight. And that's the end of that battle. And I see Neil in chat informing us that Bailey has wing damage. He certainly has wing damage now. And I think that will be the end of Bailey's race, unfortunately. It's been a combative drive from the McLaren driver, but I think it's come to an end.
As it gets himself up to 8 seconds of penalties, which is sad because this is probably 3 seconds of penalties. I believe he got a penalty for colliding with Yari on the safety car, as he was the leading car in that. I assume it would have been taken off. Now he's just on 3. So, wait, where did Copy get his 5 seconds?
Under safety car, he collided with Astro, I think. I think those two were together under the safety car, and yeah, Astro didn't get a penalty for that, but Copy did. So, so Copy's they're not 5 real seconds unless he pits, which he might have to do. Those mediums are going to be struggling. Keeping an eye here on Wow, who is now all over the back of Hazard, and Wow looking pretty racy. He's got 6 seconds of penalties, but that might not matter come the end of the race. We've still got 8 laps to go, including this one.
Pixel
My voice really struggling.
Pixel, I mean, it's the longest race on the calendar. There goes Bailey, retires in the pit lane. Pixel's picked up some soft tires. His target is going to be a 1:38.4. That is currently the fastest lap of the race, set by McKenna, and I believe that was probably in the opening stint when he was... No, he can't go fast there. He's going to be capped by other drivers. I don't know when he set it. I'm going to check, actually.
No, I think it was just after he pitted for mediums, I think.
Yeah, that's true. It was
yeah.
clear. And I think Pixel might be able to beat that on softs. They should be fast right at the gates. Well, they'll probably overheat by the end of the lap, but maybe Pixel can get himself on the board with the fastest lap. Not a fastest lap point though, because top 10 finish is not going to happen as much as I hate saying it. And Jensen is just driving this very cautiously. You can see him, sometimes he just takes apex that is a little bit too early, and then he like properly slows down, make sure he doesn't hit a wall like he should. He's just displaying the care that you know, the care that one has when he just really needs to conserve the car and doesn't want to make a single mistake. He's impressing me so far, and that's why I'm already also putting the commentator's curse on him, because you know, he's a tough guy. He can live with the challenge. It's commentator's curse is just another piece of the puzzle in this race.
We've got some supporters in chat as well. Racing Vlog says, "Woo, Jensen89." Yep, that's him. As Yari and Pretorius, I think, swapping places there. Yari going backwards with that damage. And keeping an eye on Wow. He really is all over the back now of Hazard. Those hards are fast. Sorry, go on.
McKenna and Astro were fighting there. McKenna almost looping it. Well, he got way deep there, had to just about keep it out of the wall. He did that successfully, but they're still struggling. And we still got the train from 1 to 6, and if only Wow, you know, listened to me for once, he didn't get penalties, he'd be in a great spot, but, you know.
Yep, he'd be P4, but unfortunately he's not P4 at the moment. He's behind Pretorius, I'm pretty sure. But definitely, in fact. He's got 6 seconds. Pretorius doesn't have any. So, wow, at the moment, I think a net P7. Yeah, Hazard's... we're going to assume that Hazard's 5 seconds are not real, so he's only got 3. And Copy has that phantom 5 seconds as well. So the top 6 all in the same shot, as you can see down the front straight. And with 6 laps to go, is anyone going to be able to make a move? Are those medium tyres going to hold until the end of the race? At the moment, Jay showing no sign of slowing down. He's as close as he's ever been to the back of Justin in P2.
Maybe Chief can or Hanky can tell us about the tyre of Pretorius, since he's also on 13 lap old medium, so that should give us an idea. It would certainly make it easier for us to predict how the end of this race is going to play out, as Pixel takes the fastest lap of the race. Makenda finally... Oh, Makenda collides with Astro Boys, and Astro Boys almost... Oh, no! He throws it away on traction! Right into the wall. Wow, on 9 seconds, by the way. Man, yep. You're really annoying me here. It's not your own race. Yeah.
I've already done the 9 joke, unfortunately, so I can't do that again. But he does have 9 seconds of penalties. So yeah, the top 6 still all in formation, and Justin looking quite racy, honestly, now on the back of Jensen, and without DRS, Jensen going to be struggling a little bit potentially to hold Justin off. Dirty air though.
So, Snalenki says 51 to 52 tyre wear for Pretorius. That is, according to my amazing calculator, 4 times 13, which means he would get around 4% a lap, and we've got, what, 6 laps to go?
So 5, including this one now. So
it's gonna carry right to the edge of puncture range.
Yep.
I think make it maybe one of them gets hit by RNGesus and the crashes, but most of them should make the end.
Yeah, well, depending on how good Pretorius is on tyres compared to everyone else. Pretorius has dropped quite a long way off the back of that lead group. I just wonder if that's because he was conserving at all. The pace has been pretty furious, though, up towards the front. Jay, Copy, and Hazard have all been circulating pretty quickly. And we've seen Copy do incredible things with tyres before. Don't know about Jay and Hazard, but they're all very solid drivers, so I'm sure they'll know what to do to look after the tyres. And as I say, Justin looking racy. He drops way back again. And things are pretty much as we were. Wow, still not able to make any headway, albeit right on the back now of both Copy and Hazard.
Yeah, well, this race is going to finish in P7 behind Pretorius, who is way off the back, but doesn't have a penalty. Keeps it clean in that regard, which is very vital in every race. And he's going to use that to his advantage to bridge that big gap there. I just wonder if Wow is going to think to himself that if he's going to have all the penalties in the world, he might as well fight in them, as he certainly picked up another warning there. Don't know if you saw that. It was a penultimate corner. We've got yellows, that is Bans. Off. He is hunting for the fastest lap as he's pitted for softs. But I feel like he might need to pit again. No.
Well, the bad news, well, yeah, I guess he's... is he running? Yeah, he's running in clear air at the moment. He's behind Makenda on track. A lap down. So he's going to do his best to get that fast lap. It's a shootout, I think, between Pixel and Bans for the fastest lap. As through the left-hander goes Wow, and again, right on the back of Hazard, but there's just no opportunity here unless the car in front makes a mistake. With the DRS train, it's very, very difficult to find a way past, and Wow really struggling at the moment.
Oh,
that was close.
You were watching the same, okay.
Yep.
It was indeed. He is dropping quite a lot of time to Jensen now, so Jensen can probably coast home from here. He's got the experience to do it. Jay might get a little hungry and go for the position. He probably doesn't know that Copy and Hazard don't have real penalties. At least we think so. So he could still be under threat if he makes a mistake. Maybe if he gets out of Justin, that is minimized. On the other hand, the risk is probably passing Justin. So.
Yeah, and Jensen pulling away now to the tune of 2 seconds at the front. So Jensen certainly dialed in. We didn't see it. Justin seems to be going very slowly suddenly as Wow gets his 12 seconds now a penalty. It's his 4th penalty. He's really trying to get past Hazard.
I'd like to say something now, but unfortunately 12 just isn't a funny word. Well,
as Vance does the fastest lap. Zwölf is a pretty funny word. It's it sounds just like 12 in a comedy German accent. It's Zwölf.
It really sounds as if you tried to say 12 German. Das ist ein 12-Moment. Yeah, that's the amount of penalties he's got. We're gonna see if Tara has to giggle over the word 15 later in this race. But I hope Wow is gonna spare us of that. That was a sick drift from Jay, by the way. Jay and Justin really fighting over the title of who gets to.
Wow! Oh wow!
Go back to 9.
Trying to get in on the act, yeah, absolutely.
Oh no. Yeah. Jay and Justin both having a competition over who can most unreasonably overdrive their cars 3 laps from the end there. Justin almost kissing the wall like 3 times there, and Jay having a proper drift over the Anderson Bridge, which oh man, those tires must be completely shot now. I think he might lose a position to Copy.
Yeah. Big struggles, yeah, for Jay. I saw that. I was on board with Wow and saw that in the distance. And yeah, he looks like he is really struggling now. He doesn't really have very much battery to defend either from Copy, although Copy doesn't have much to attack with.
Oh, Vance retires!
Oh no, that's an on-track retirement with 2 laps to go. So Vance was trying very hard to go faster than he'd gone before. But he is unfortunately our 5th retirement.
Yeah, that's... Say the word hammer once you to say, Jack. I can't spoil it.
Say unglaublich.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's an okay word. I can say that.
Unglaublich. Do you know what it means?
No, I don't.
It's
Oh, as Copy and Hazard really fighting. Hazard was almost pushing Copy around the right-hander there. They were side by side for a moment. Copy keeping the position. Wow, now having a good look down the inside into the sling corner, but that's not going to work. Because that gap closes very quickly indeed, and Wow remains frustrated.
Vance was looking at Discord while driving and hit the wall. My god, that is...
and a mistake this time from Hazard, and Wow is going to get past this time. A traction on the exit of the hairpin, and through goes Wow into P5.
I've seen more meaningful overtakes in the past. It's gonna be P5 on track for him, Hazard. Gonna get 5 seconds taken off, so he's likely not dropping that to Pretorius unless there's a time loss of 2 seconds for him on the last lap. But Jensen is gonna enter the final lap of this race, and he can afford to get a penalty at this... No, not at this rate. He can afford to get a penalty, full stop. Unless there's some major, disappointment.
Yep, shenanigans on the last lap. Unglaublich, says Vance. Yep, that's...
Absolut unglaublich. Why do I say it in a funny way? I can literally speak German. It's like when I talk to Reva and suddenly I sound Hungarian. It's not even intentional. Hazard hits the wall there, but it doesn't really matter.
Here goes Wow, yep. Up the inside of Copy, and those medium tyres now really struggling. Jay seems to be okay for the time being, but he's fallen right off the back of Justin. And the last lap is going to be a trial for these hard runners. And the question for Wow is how far can he get? Can he get ahead of Makenda, for example? He's got about another 7/10 to get ahead of Makenda, who's only got 3 seconds of penalties. So we'll see if he can do that. Hang on, is that right? No, that's not right. He's ahead of Makenda already. So he is ahead of Makenda. Wow is. With those 12 seconds of penalties. He's a net 9 seconds ahead of him. Or behind him in penalties.
Should be.
But there's no doubt as to who our winner is today, because he's driven pretty much a faultless race. He benefited from the over-exuberance of Bailey and Bance at the beginning of the final stint, and he knows he's won the race.
Loop it, stop weaving! No, I've seen Curse earlier this week, and he's not.
And he's even going to slow down over the line. There he goes. Jensen wins the Singapore Grand Prix. A fantastic drive from him, Justin. P2 on track and P2 on the score sheet as well, because Jay finishes third, Copy fourth, Pretorius fifth, and Hazard sixth. Wow does finish seventh ahead of McKenda in P8, and all of the medium runners made it by the looks of it to the end of the race.
It's another day with a spectacular race, another day where I am completely wrong about everything concerning strategy, and that's amazing. Why don't I even give my input on strategy after yesterday's race? I don't quite know. It was bad. I succumbed to peer pressure. I thought I'm gonna do what the guys ahead did, so 5 people made the wrong decision because the people ahead of them made the wrong decision. Anyways, yeah, I mean, this was an exciting race. We had loads of fighting. There was probably the most insane safety car period I've ever seen. I can't remember anything close to it. It was completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was more action in the safety car period than there was in the rest of the race. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you know, not every race can have free overtakes on a main straight, right? Yeah.
That was a fun race to watch. I had fun watching that.
It was. Yeah, it was. I just said because you were criticizing the amount of action. I think there was a decent amount.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there was a reasonable amount of action as well, and certainly, wow, trying to get past Hazard was a fun time.
It's just the thing about Singapore is just that because it's 31 laps, it just feels way too long. I think if Singapore races were like 25 laps or something, then like it'd be better. But of course, that's not how it works.
Well, the thing is, I always kind of wish there was like a 70% race option, rather than like going straight from having to choose between 50 and 100, because 70% is like a, you know, that's a race length where you can get, if you've got double tire wear, you can get a decent amount of strategy and you can get two stops that actually work and stuff like that. And Singapore is that race, so that's one reason I like it.
I don't think two stops work. I don't.
Well, I mean, they don't in Singapore, but like they could in theory, right? In that length of a race on other tracks. Yeah.
But the reason that 70% races would be fun is not just that they're just longer. Like it's
no.
Yeah,
but it's like but Singapore as well. It's a little bit more of a challenge to keep yourself, you know, especially on a track like Singapore where you're intense driving the whole way. And I remember, I remember the tournament races we've done here, or the tournament race that I was in here. You know, that was a 25% race that felt like a 50% race. And you know, it's like that in these 50% races. It always feels like you've done a little bit more than 50%.
Yeah, it does. We've got our happy winner in the commentary booth. Well, not in the interview lounge, and also Justin. I don't know if you have the interview scene. I am actually enjoying that.
I think I do. Apologies to the black screen folks, because I didn't actually have the EGL scene on. I just realized now, and I wonder if I can bring up the interview screen. And oh no, that's the wrong size because it's the wrong resolution. Let's fix this on screen. Here we go. That's that corner. We're gonna make it bigger. Oh, why can't I make it bigger? Come on now. I can't make it bigger now. I made it smaller, and why? Oh no.
That's great.
You hate to see it. All right, is it working now?
More often. It's funny.
Is it working? No, it's not working now. I can't.
See
all right. Well, we're gonna have a slightly smaller than usual interview screen.
How does that happen? Do you want me to stream the interview? No.
Well, there we go. All right.
This is like let me get into the car so I can do donuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey guys.
It's Jensen. He's joined us in the commentary box. He is back. That was a masterful Singapore race. I remember from personal experience, losing to you a couple of times in Singapore, and I'm good at Singapore. I'm it's one of my better tracks for sure.
Yeah.
But you've always been on another level here, and this was a fantastic race. So yeah, how did that feel?
Oh, it felt wonderful. It's my first interview this season as well with you guys.
Is it really?
So
No
yeah.
way! Wow.
And
He
also-
talks to us after every good race.
And also my first podium. So good to be on the top step. Yeah, I don't know. I got a setup from Vexit. So as you can see, the esports setups do pay off sometimes.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't know. The start was really good. I pinched wow, I think a little bit in the first corner, but I think that all went all right. Then I could overtake the Damien, who was on hards. I just knew I had to strike as soon as possible. So I did, and then yeah, Vexit kept extending a little bit on me. He was a little bit quicker, but suddenly I gained on him. I don't know if he had damage because he also undercutted me and he was behind me after the pit stop. So
He did.
there was a he had wing damage. Yeah, thought so. Yeah, because the gap was coming down and he pitted early. So yeah, I covered him by going the next lap. Got held in the pit a little bit by Bailey. Yeah, and then after the safety car restart, it was Code Brown when Benz almost pinched me into the wall. So I had to back out. And then I saw Bailey and Benz kill themselves right in front of me. And Mackenna lost it in front of me, in front of the safety car. So a lot of stuff going on, and I think it's one of the best. How important it is to get into this flow in Singapore, get into the zone. So that was a little bit distracting. It cost me a few laps, and then Justin put the pressure on till the end. I was also. I think driving on 90% or something, because the last thing I wanted was to clip a wing and stuff like that. And I had the feeling that my exit would be good enough to let him never get close enough to overtake me. And finally he made a mistake, I think. And then I was like, all right, let's have some fun the last few laps and still try to drive as hard as I can. And here we are, only one warning, so I'm really happy with the results.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race. What's happened here? Have we got somebody streaming? Are they?
What?
Somebody, I think. Unless.
What? Did I do anything bad?
No. The stream is. I think Vito has turned the stream on. I think so. I'm gonna put it in. Yeah. So I think. Vito is streaming lol.
No, I see it as well.
With our stream
whole race erased.
Rip.
That would suck because I would love to watch it back.
Oh no, we got all of the race. We got all of the race. It only just happened.
Okay.
It was during your interview.
Yeah,
it's like if I can't go back on the VOD further than oh no.
Can you ping him a message just to say?
I can't go back further on the VOD than like 120.
Oh, okay. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, but just at least let him know. Oh man. Because yeah, I mean,
if he just deleted the VOD, I'm gonna jump. That was the most crazy safety car period I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I really want to rewatch the fight between Benz and Bailey.
Oh yeah. At least we have my.
We are back. Nice. All right. Good
okay,
stuff.
good.
Yeah. So I don't know where we were. I don't know where we went off. It was at some point during that interview. But yeah, you were saying you were driving at 90%, and Timo actually said in commentary he watched you for like a few corners. And
Yeah.
he was like you were giving it plenty of space on the.
Yeah, because I would jump out of a window here if I would throw it away. I know. In the first 10 laps, I already had a feeling, all right, podium is possible, pace is good. But yeah, I saw Vexit drop behind me. Stuff went my way a little bit as well. Mackenna getting out of the way by spinning on his own. Benz and Bailey taking each other out. So yeah, I could just manage the gap behind me. And also, I saw Jay was behind Justin as well on mediums. And I was like, I'm going to trap him in the DRS train. at least till the last 6 or 7 laps, because I was afraid if I drop Justin, maybe first I have to take risk myself by dropping him, and second of all, it gives Jay a chance to overtake him with the mediums, and I had no idea how good his mediums still were. So I was like, let's just manage the gap, make sure it's 6 or 7 tenths were coming out of turn 3, and yeah, I should be fine. Turn 3 or turn 4, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right, and that was how it played out.
Yeah.
And that was your first win since Suzuka last year,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and we got Suzuka next, right? Is it, or is it Russia first?
Russia first.
Okay. So Russia
Yeah.
and then Suzuka. So yeah, how are you feeling about those?
Russia, I skipped a couple of times, I think, because I think the track is really boring, and I probably get penalties there again. But yeah, I don't know. We have a week off as well. We have break week, so maybe with some more time off, I will try to practice for it. This motivated at least a bit again. Also, quali in the wet was pretty good if you compare it to. Jari and Vexit. I cut at the last corner in my last run. Was actually a 50
Oh yeah, I
point.
saw. Yeah.
Yeah, I did a
50.7. Yeah.
50.7. So would have jumped wild, but yeah, it's good to be back a little bit at the front again, and to take opportunities like these. I know Vexit is faster than me, and Jari as well, but it's nice to show up once in a while.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you on that sort of form, and yeah.
Yeah, and it was important for the constructors as well, because Danny wasn't there. So yeah, I had to do it today, and both Renaults pretty fast people in them. So we extended the gap a little bit today. So I guess Danny is happy as well that I finally showed up.
Yeah, no, good stuff. It's good to see you at the front, and we hope for more in Russia and at Suzuka as well.
Suzuka will definitely show up. Of course, I don't know how fast Jari is compared to Yugo last season. It's gonna be way more difficult, I think, at least, to win it again. But I will definitely give it my all there again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not only Yari, there's Vexit as well, who's
yeah, Vexit is also
Yari,
a really dark horse. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, good stuff. Well done on the win, and we'll hope to have you back in here at least a couple more times this season after some good results.
Deal. We will do that.
All right, cheers, Jensen.
All right, cheers.
That was Jensen, our race winner. We're going to bring in our second place finisher as well, Justin, who benefited very much, I think, from that safety car at the, well, not at the start of the race, but sort of a third of the way through the race. You had the hard tyres on to the end, Justin, and they worked very well for you.
Yeah, I mean, the whole race was chaos, as you said, during the safety car. And with people killing themselves after the safety car, it was really, Lady Luck was on my side. But yeah, all in all, it was a good race, except for lap 1, turn 1, where we were 4 wide into turn 1, and I got collected by pretty much everyone and had orange front wing until the end of, or until the start of the
orange front wing, wow.
Yeah, and I had to manage it, and I didn't know how I managed, but then Fox and Jay kind of like came together, so I overtook them, and after I just tried managing my pace, and then I saw I was catching with Jensen, I was keeping up with him, but then I did a small mistake, and that was my DRS train over, so it is what it is, but really happy with P2 considering the start I had.
Yeah, no, it's a really good result, and it's one of those where, okay, you got the luck in the middle of the race, but you made the most of it, and there were still 20 laps to go at that point, and you did those without really making any major mistakes at all. So yeah, big props on that. Do you like Singapore? Do you think it's a track that suits you?
Yeah, it's my favorite track, so that's I'm happy.
Yeah, you got good taste. That's it's a really fun track. Timo doesn't like it much. But yeah,
it's fine, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, we got Russia and we got Japan after that. So how are you feeling about those two?
If I could, I would skip Russia, but I'm not because
Yeah.
I like racing. So, but otherwise, the tracks after that, Japan, Mexico, Brazil, USA, I all love those tracks. So it's just Russia in a way, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, I don't like Russia. Even when I was doing the pad last year in Russia, and I was pretty quick because it's a pad track. But it's just not very fun to drive. Like it's And it's all about the tactics with the DRS as well. It's another one of those tracks where the DRS is just so strong. But yeah, well done on second place. Anyway, we'll let you go, but we'll hope to see you again on the podium. We've seen you a few times on the podium now, and yeah, we'll hope to see you again.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers. That was Justin. We're going to bring in our why can't I drag Jay in? There we go. I've managed to drag Jay in to the channel, the third place finisher today on those medium tires that we weren't quite sure. Yeah, we weren't quite sure when the safety car came out what the hard runners were going to do, whether the mediums would go to the end. How close was it in the end?
The mediums were dead towards the end. It wasn't a very fun fun drive towards the end of the race. But yeah, when the safety car came out around like lap 12, I believe it was, I had the box, or else I would lose way too much time. But I started on the hard, so I had to go on the mediums. And yeah, they felt pretty fine until the last 5 laps. I started to slide a bit on them, and in the last 2 laps they were completely gone, so I lost a lot of time to Justin. But yeah, it's still fine. P11 to P3, not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned after qualifying that, like by your recent standards, it's a relatively poor qualifying, but you certainly made up for it in the race. It was you drove very well. Do you like Singapore? Is it a track that suits you?
No, definitely not. I don't like Singapore at all. I don't know why, because I didn't even have any warnings today, but like it doesn't suit me too well. I like lower downforce tracks way more. As you could see, I think by my results as well, but it was a special track and a special race to say the least, and a few incidents in front and behind me as well.
Yeah, they usually are at Singapore. We had Singapore was the scene. Were you here last year for Singapore, where we had the huge pile up, the huge pile up 2 laps from the end with a safety car? That was a fun time.
Oh no!
It was Timo just losing it.
Yeah, at the start something else happened as well. I don't know exactly what happened, but I went from P11 to like P8 instantly because in front of me someone got Verstappen or something.
Yeah, there was a 4 wide situation apparently, according to Justin, into turn 1.
Oh damn, so that's not gonna work.
Yeah, that's always fun into a corner that sort of funnels you through single file. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, another podium for you. We seem to be talking to you on a regular basis, which is great. How are you feeling about the next couple of races? We've got Russia and then Suzuka after the break.
Russia is gonna be pain as well. I think / hope it would be better than or it will be better than this track. And yeah, Japan I like a lot. So my bet is going to Japan, and I'm gonna focus on that as well.
Okay, well we'll hope to see you up the front then as well. And,
Thank you, man.
Yeah, well, fantastic drive today, and yeah, we'll see you again soon, hopefully, in the commentators channel.
Thank you.
Now, as Jay, who finished third today, and I think that pretty much wraps us up. I don't know if we got Bailey in the interview channel as well. I don't know if he's just talking to Jensen or if he wants to speak to us. Let's should we bring him in just to see whether.
I mean, swear words aren't allowed, so I think it's a risk.
It is a little bit, isn't it? Let's leave Bailey for now, and maybe we'll catch up with him next week, or something like that. We'll see if he wanted to.
I didn't mean it like that, but that's fine.
But and also we're getting it's 7 o'clock now, so we should.
Yeah, that's more the reason.
We should wrap it up.
Race.
Timo's got places to go and people to see, so we'll let him do that.
Sure.
It's been a fun one today. I enjoyed it a lot. And we've got
these there. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I hope it is as well. If not, I have it recorded, so I'll upload it.
Good chat.
So,
absolute chat.
So in the worst case, it'll be a few hours before it's up. But yeah, that's a Singapore race for SLR at least. We got 2 SRL tomorrow, of course. Join us for that. Well, it won't be us for that, but join EGL for that. Tier 2 and then Tier 1 tomorrow. Sorry.
F2?
Oh, F2 as well. F2 is this evening.
I never think of it either, but it is there.
But this time you thought of it. Yeah, apologies to those people driving in F2. What is it? Singapore for F2? What's the date today? It's not Singapore. There's no F2 today.
What?
It's the 8th of May, and we have Monaco next week.
It's a break week.
But yeah, it's a break week for F2, so
I
there's
should look at
no
the schedule
F2.
before the end of this. This is a little sad. So yeah, they're actually just doing a break week for no apparent reason. That's sad. Monaco next time though should be
Yeah,
fun.
Monaco with full
ACC.
qualifying next time. There you go.
Oh, and ACC goes to a track that I have
Alton
just
Park.
looked up. Alton Park. Oh, that's gonna be.
The only reason I know
Oh.
that is because they were talking about it in voice chat while we were watching the qualifying earlier. So so yeah, Alton Park. Alton Park's fun. I like Alton Park.
Yeah, there's gonna be so much carnage. Anyways, yeah, check that out. Next week is break week, of course, except for F2. And
Yeah, and
good night. Thanks for being here, and goodbye.
bye everyone. End stream. Okay.